Man, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Happy Canada Day, July 1st, Independence Day across the border today. So today we're going to be hearing from Luis Saenz, and this is going to be Luis's third speech, but he's actually going to be doing project number 8, the Visual Aids project, because the nature of the speech, as you'll see, really lent itself to Project 8. In the first two speeches that we've had from Luis has talked about his background growing up in Chihuahua in northern Mexico, and he's also talked about his love of photography. And I believe today he's going to put the two of those things together in a speech called My Favorite Picture, or something like that, right? On it? It wasn't written down. So. All right, anyway, this is the Visual Aids project from Competent Communicator number 8. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech, and Luis is going to be looking to use visual aid that's appropriate for the message audience, that's well displayed, easy to read, and things of that nature. So with My Favorite Picture, please welcome to the podium Luis Saenz.
Thank you, Doug. And as he explained at the beginning, I was hesitating between doing the project number 3 or number 8. Number 3 is getting to the point, and number 8 is feeling comfortable with the help of visual aids. And because of the theme of my presentation, I decided to go with number 8 and get that up on plate, and then just stay on number 3. So today I'm going to talk about my favorite picture. And over the years, I've been taking so many pictures, and how I came up with my favorite one. Somebody suggested it to me on my previous speech, and so today I'm going to be talking about this. And before I get into it, and for you to get the whole picture, I need to tell you a little bit about native Indians from my home state, the Tarahumaras or Rarámuris. I don't know if you can see it because of the screen, but on their parlance, Tarahumara means runners on foot, and the language is Tarahumara. So, as you can see from the different pictures, the clothing hasn't changed much from 1892 all the way to these days, and it's pretty much consistent. For the men is a very bright colors on the shirt and white clothing for the cloth for the pants or wraparound. And for the women, they use like flower patterns, but very colorful too. The shirt is normally 1 or 2, and then they wear different layers of skirts. And all of them wear the same kind of sandals or huaraches, which are made out of rubber from tires and skin and leather. So the Tarahumaras, Chihuahua, the size of Chihuahua is about 25,000 square miles, and the Tarahumaras occupy about 1/4 of the state on the southwest part of the state, and they pretty much moved or retreated to the highest sierras or canyons of Chihuahua on the 16th century when the Spaniard conquistadores came over. So they move up to the high sierras like the Copper Canyon, and because of the presence of this particular area of the state, it's called La Sierra Tarahumara. And they first settlement dates back to 15,000 years ago, and it's believed that they came from Asia, from the Mogollon culture. And these days, the count of Tarahumaras is about 85,000 of them, based on the last census of 2010. So their housing, when it comes to the housing, even these days, they still live on caves or claves, because it represents better protection for them from the weather conditions or predators. But also they have houses made out of rocks, wood logs, or adobes. The houses, they're pretty much 1 or 2 bedrooms. The floor is dirt, compact dirt, and they don't have furniture on it. The roof of the houses normally has an opening to let out the smoke from the constant fire that they use to either cook or heat their houses. You can see it here in this picture how they adapted their house with rocks on a cave and how they smoke out. The rooms on the houses are also like a multi-use. Sometimes it can happen to me as a kid. I was with my dad, he was having like a business meeting with him. My dad used to have a wood mill, so he would go up to the mountains and hire labor and also buy the wood. So I remember being in one of these houses and we were having dinner, and before I knew it was bedtime and everybody just started kind of laying down over there, and that was our bedroom too. And I was among a bunch of people, you know, like it was not just me and my dad, but it was all the laborers on that area. The labor people would just sleep on that house. When it comes to the nutrition, the basic two crops that they feed, or the protein that they feed on, is made out of corn or beans. In this case, they have the chia isquiate, which is cakes made out of pinole and the chia seed. And pinole is a corn flour that they do. And they use these during their, they're well known for a long, I guess, enduring long running sessions. And they use these as, you know, as the source of proteins. They eat meat, but only like 5% or less is included on the diet. And when it comes to meat, it's mostly fish, chicken, or squirrels. And every once in a while, they will kill some of their domesticated animals like cows, sheep, or lamb, especially during ceremonial events. About the lifestyle, as I say, they have developed endurance to be able to run long distances, sometimes up to 200 miles in a day on a two-day session. So they're well known for it, and there's a book called Born to Run, and I can't remember the name of the author right now. I didn't write it down, but the author decided that he needed to learn how these people can run for so long, so he decided to move down there and study why. So he would kind of study it and put it on practice himself and wrote the book. And mostly they run on their sandals. And as I say, they can run up to 200 miles. Also, as part of the lifestyle, every member of the family is supposed to be healthy as early as 6 years old. You can see kids, the boys taking care of the cattle and the crops, and the younger girls taking care of the younger siblings. They move during the year. They move to different locations because they still practice the transhumance, which is the movement of the persons with the cattle or the livestock to fix parcels, you know, during the winter and summer months. So what all of this has to do with my favorite picture? Well, one time 8 years ago, I was traveling to the Sierra Tarahumara with my family, and there was this little girl wandering around asking for corima, and corima means, again on the parlance, it means to share. So she was asking corima from the tourists, and they're very shy about interacting with other people or even getting their pictures taken. So after some negotiating and giving her some or sharing some corima, she allowed me to take her picture. Also, during the years, I've upgraded my computers and I've lost some pictures in transferring the pictures. So after that, I decided to use external hard drives to avoid that problem. But then my hard drive died, and so sometimes I lose some of my pictures, if not all. So just like this little girl's sculpture that has survived through many different, I guess, harsh conditions, weather and social conditions, her picture has managed to survive my technology mishaps. And every single time that I look at this picture, it talks to me in so many different ways. I don't know what it is about her eyes or something that it really talks to me. And I keep going back to it every single time, and every single time that I see it, I try something different to it, you know, depending on what's talking to me, the picture's talking to me. And because of that, I don't know what it is, but because of that, that's the reason this is my favorite picture. So, okay?